Good morning, everybody, or afternoon when this is posted. This is another one of those car talks where I've already done the workout, so I kind of know what's in store. So, little sneak peek, you guys are going to see today a split up workout of sorts, where I do one half this morning and then one half I'm doing tonight. But it is such a nice day outside. It is like 70 degrees with a breeze and stuff. The fall leaves are coming down everywhere. Like, it is so freaking nice right now. I cannot even overstate how invigorating it feels to walk outside and just feel that sunrise that's glowing on me right now. Like, the sun just feels so nice combined with the breeze. I don't know why breezes are so fun, but I love them so much. But today I talk a little bit while I'm in the gym during squat about kind of like cutting. How cutting I'm kind of winding down my half a year cut, basically, after a quarter of a year bulk, basically. Bulking for like 3 months, a little over 3 months, and then cutting for like basically the rest of the year off and on. I had periods where I was maintenance. I had periods where I was cutting. So like all in all, it was probably about a little less than half a year of actual discipline in my mind. Okay, I'm in a cutting stage, but you know, I feel like the first 10 pounds of my cut were easy. I don't know if I've said that before, but the first 10 pounds with dedication and a couple months and patience, I lost that kind of weight. But now it is like, I don't even want to call it cutting. I want to call it shredding, like getting shredded, because all that's left under me now is muscle. It is not that much fat. And I have to be very careful with how I cut because I don't want to lose muscle. And basically, in the span of bulking and cutting, I think I probably gained about 5 to 10 pounds of lean muscle, which is kind of crazy. I don't know how much typically a first bulk or a first cut of muscle gains. I'm going to have to do some more research of it. But based on how much more difficult it is and how much more my body kind of rests around, my body's resting rate now with not very disciplined cutting, kind of like having some cheat days over the weekends and having some not exactly a regimented diet during the weeks, it rests at about 160. So now with some more focused on getting in more vegetables, I've tried salads for the first time. I've tried a whole multitude of stuff. I'm very, very slowly, like 0.2 pounds, 0.3 pounds every couple of days, as best as possible. I'm still very lowly, kind of like trend, just kind of baby stepping down past 160 to where I've seen the scale hit 158 before. But the scales at the gym they're so old. I need a more reliable scale, and thankfully I will be going home this weekend, so I'll actually get a more reliable scale. But the cutting is the main focus right now, and that leads to some moments in the lifts where like I'm questioning my strength, because yes, when I'm getting shredded, strength comes down, ability, when I'm doing good formed lift, when I'm like revitalizing my lift, I don't have extra weight to kind of offset the balance of me trying to improve my form. Like, my body, if I try to improve my form, it just tanks my lift a little bit straight up, because what is there in place of the bad form? Nothing. There's no extra weight. There's no bodily function that can kind of replace that. It's just me getting better. But in turn, that means less dopamine, because there's less, how do I say this? I guess just pounds on the sheet, pounds on the little like graph, just like going steadily up, and then when I'm like start cutting, going down a little bit, and then moments in the mornings where I'm like not fully warmed up, where I don't have a lot of food in me, just going down. Like, I've never been a breakfast guy, so intermittent fasting, whatever people call it, that's just kind of something I'm used to, I guess. It's kind of something that I just like, starting high school, I just didn't really eat breakfast as much. When I was a kid, I ate breakfast all the time. I watched like the Cat in the Hat show and would like eat cereal with my brother and my sister every single day. But I mean, even now, breakfast is more of like a sometimes thing than kind of an assured thing. Although lately I have kind of trying to been like get myself a little fueled after some of these morning workouts, having a little Greek yogurt, having like an apple or something that's like super light, because I just don't like heavy stuff in the morning. And I mean, it's just better for the cut in general, but I don't even think about it in terms of the cut. Just my enjoyment, breakfast is just not worth it. I'm not hungry in the mornings. It just kind of is what it is. So, but lunch and dinner, formatting it around more vegetables, more greens, more plant-based protein. I read multiple articles about how plant-based proteins are actually like, they can be better for you because you can get more like straight up nutrients and stuff, and more densely packed protein than you could from like meats that have a lot of cholesterol and a lot of extra fats and stuff. That being said, I'm still destroying some meat, but I'm trying to incorporate a more, not vegetarian, because I'm not vegetarian in the slightest, but more just straight up more veggies, more fruits. I've always liked fruits. Fruits has never been a problem. Veggies is a little more of a problem. I've tried salad so many times. I can't get into salad. It makes me gag. It makes me not like it. Like straight up eating the leaves, putting sauce on the leaves, putting like putting different stuff onto like the lettuce, the cabbage, and different stuff. I can't. The only way I can really do lettuce is like barely in a giant combination burrito. If there's like a light amount of lettuce, I'll just like tough it out, but I'm not happy about it. But I like other greens. Like, I don't know how much I've had kale, but I know I love spinach. Spinach is my jam, especially combined with other stuff. Potatoes, corn, green beans, peas, sweet potatoes, all like, I'm getting into more veggie things. Lentils is like a newer thing for me. I like lentils. I haven't really had much of like a lentil soup, but I like lentils kind of seasoned and cooked on their own and not kind of like melted down. But yeah, that's kind of the basics of today's lift. I'll go ahead and cut. I'll go ahead and cut to the actual thing for you guys before I do an outro. So, boosh. All right, so just warmed up, just reviewed kind of what I need to do for squat and other stuff today. So now I'm definitely ready for the leg day. Starting off, hip abductors, both sides are going to be, all 3 sets are going to be 20 reps. This is like the max of reps for this exercise. So that means that moving up in weight is coming soon, but for now, just hitting the same for every single one of them. Definitely opening up my range of motion this morning. All right, second set. That one I definitely had to like pause in between everything. Maybe it's because the sweatpants give me a little bit more like movement in my legs. But it also could just be like the lactic acid and fatigue. Build-up kind of gets me the longer I prioritize the stretch and like getting my hip abductors ready for the movement, you know, so. All right, last set, grinding out the last 20. Definitely had to feel the burn a lot on that last part, but now everything's effectively stretched and ready for squat. Okay, last time I was very disappointed about how bench went. That was like my bad bench day. So, not bench, I kept saying bench. Squat. My squat did not go good last time for what seemed to me to be a multitude of reasons. So this time, as I'm doing it, I'm kind of revamping some of it. I'm doing less warm-up sets and more working sets, like reps. So I'm doing 5 for my 2 warm-up sets with 245 and 255. And then for my working sets, I'm actually getting into 8 reps for 275 and 290, respectively. And I shed some layers. I got rid of my sweatpants so I could have a little bit more leg movement. So we'll see how that affects things. I think it should be good. Okay, that was a good warm-up set. I definitely felt my right knee talking to me for part of the movement, but I think maybe last time wearing pants could have been a big inhibitor, a big factor in, preventing how I wanted my squat to go, along with correcting my form, because now I have much better form, and at least I think so. I'm pretty sure I'm getting better depth this way, and I don't know. I feel like I'm liking the reps better by toning down my warm-up and going harder for working set. 255 for 5 now, and then we move up to the big stuff. Felt my neck shoot up on that last one, but I quickly shot it down before it could do anything. I think that's something I'm really just gonna have to proactively counteract. Okay, new camera angle for the last 2 sets for 275 and 290. These are gonna be the most reps, the most strain I have weight-wise, so it's gonna be a lot. Especially jumping up quite a bit with weight, but it's something I can handle. I know, because I've handled it in the past. It's just now it operates in the morning and stuff, so things are just a little bit different, but still they're not that much different, if I just push through and try to make sure I have good form and set it up correctly. Good things can come from it, and I think good things will come from this set. All right, 6 to 7 reps. Not exactly ideal, not exactly what I wanted, but the form was good and the isolation on my quads was good. So I'm gonna keep doing that weight. All right, especially after a hard day. Split squats yesterday, especially when I don't have a bunch of carbs in my system, especially everything really. Squats barreling out. Squat strength is not as noticeable during a cut, but is that a valid excuse? Can you make some excuses that are valid? Is there reasons you can find for not succeeding, or is there not? Is this just an excuse? Should I keep pushing through the failure? To me, I hate it and I don't see the excuse and I want to keep pushing through the failure. But at the same time, I don't want to beat myself up too heavily over this because there is reasons and theories that I have that make sense for why squat might not be going as well as it did when I wasn't prioritizing the cut as much. You know, it's give and take, yin and yang, Full Metal Alchemist equivalent exchange type of theory of how this weight is going to get moved. So I'm shooting for 8. That's all I'm shooting for with 275, like I was last time. If I barrel out, I fail, that's okay, but the goal is still there. Failed out on the 7th rep. Not great form, not parallel at all, but good enough to count as a squat. Good enough for me to be like, okay, that's progress, that's benefit. Even if it's not exactly what you want, you're getting somewhere. Your legs are still beefed up. Like look at the leg pump right now, especially in the lighting. I guess you guys can't see it that deeply from far away, but I can see it. I can see it. All right, 3 sets, 245 for 10 on calf raises. Not much to say. Calf raises should be fairly simple enough if I just focus on that stretch. All right, second set. First set moved insanely quickly, so I'm basically just gonna try to replicate what I did with that. I think I got a good grip on the bar where it wasn't like moving my arms back in a bad way. hurt my traps a little bit more, but I was happy with that stretch. All right, last set. The sweat's kind of starting to pool in my shirt a little bit. I think leg day might have to be finished out as much as possible. We might not get through the full thing today. All right, no more of that. All right, for 130 on hamstring curls, we're just doing a simple rising ladder. 10, 11, 12. Those are the reps. Nothing crazy, just trying to control 130 as best as possible. Last time I jumped up a lot with it because I knew I could do it and I needed to push myself more. And so I'm just going up by 1 rep because last rep we did the same thing except I did 9 instead of 10. I just want to make sure that I'm grasping it, especially this time since I'm having not a bad lift, but a slower lift where like some things aren't improving as much. It just helps if I can pause for a minute and like soak in the weight before I like start going crazy, pushing myself like way up into territories where my form starts deteriorating and where I start doing bad with heavier weight. So need to prioritize this. Second set of hamstrings, I'm gonna try to not drop the weight this time, or at least drop it less, because I was trying to make sure I went like a full range of motion, and I accidentally kept like not scratching, just like barely hitting the stack, so it would like make loud noises every time, and I'm not trying to do that this time. Felt much more difficult, but much more controlled and good for me that time. I noticed in between sets, my hands are kind of like covered in like dirt and random crap from the bar and from the grips and stuff. It's really nasty. I'll be ready for a shower after this. I think I kind of decided that today is going to be split up. The other days I had to, I split squat or like target muscles or other stuff up on purpose, or not on purpose. Today I am doing it on purpose. But the last times I was like, I had to call it early just because I ran out of time or something. Today I'm kind of running out of time because I need to get to class, but at the same time, I just want to space it out and do the other stuff tonight instead of doing it right now, if that makes sense, because I have the ability to, and I just feel more like that. So this will be the last movement, and then I'll just cut to the footage from tonight. All right, lots of strain. I'm happy with that first half of it. And now we can cut to the other half of it. Okay, it's incredibly loud, so I'm gonna have to hover my mouth like right next to the camera, but we've got pistol squats today where first set is just normal, second set I hold my feet for 3 of them, and last set I hold my feet for all of them. I'm feeling some pain around my right knee, so I don't know if that's a sign of something or if it's not. So it may or may not go as well as possible. But I want to see if I can kind of knock it out. Maybe it's just like a small term thing. Okay, left leg was noticeably smoother than right leg, so maybe my knee's feeling a little loosened, or maybe even a little tight from this morning, but you know, I'll push through it. Alright, now definitely a lot calmer and quiet than it was. This next one is half and half, moving up from 2 last time. I'm gonna be working kind of to increase my leg stability and my ability of balance with pistol squat by doing it halfway. I don't know if I've ever clarified that I'm just trying to have a stronger, more complete, more balanced pistol squat by doing the leg holding out thing instead of like a new form increase or like some type of weight increase. I really just want to have like good form of this rather than moving on to a new exercise or new increment of a harder pistol squat entirely. That'll come soon, but for right now I need to balance pistol squat perfectly. Alright, I felt much more balance and good leg strength from that second set that I did the first one. You know, this afternoon I was editing a bunch of the videos so far, and it's kind of something I've realized while editing. and kind of looking at gym content and looking at stuff from an outside point of view. It's like if you're looking on a upper floor or a top floor of like a building, and you're seeing all the cars and you're seeing all the people below you and you're seeing all the activity and you're seeing it as a whole, and it's got a completely different perspective because you're seeing everything. So you're kind of like, you don't idealize, what's going on in people's heads down there, how big the cars are, how intricate every single person's life is that you're looking at. You're just kind of taking in like a whole scene and like looking at a bunch of stuff, but you're not seeing every individual part. And in lifting, at least lifting content, it's some kind of like experience that I've noticed about being a content creator, is that when I'm watching the content, it doesn't feel as high stakes or exciting or engaging as it is to actually be here in the moment. Like, my heart is pounding, I'm sweating, I'm feeling the burn in my legs. Like, the lift is paralyzingly like fun or scary or like feels bad. Like, all the emotions are kicked up because you're like releasing all this stuff. But after a workout, after you look back on it, after I'm like watching videos, it doesn't feel that same way. So that's something I kind of like am wondering about, is how all things like eventually kind of pass, like, even if you're in like a super hard moment like now, not just gym wise but anything wise, it eventually will fade a little bit because you'll have the gift of perspective after you make it out. You just got to be willing to tough it out for whatever hard thing you're going for. So the hard thing I'm going for, transitioning into the lift wise, is holding my legs out all 6 reps for each leg. It's probably going to be hard, but not compared to what I've gone through before. Threw in some extra reps because I kind of fell down on some of the reps, but I was able to get them all good form. So that's a win. That's a success. And we're back. Okay, so now the lift is over. I don't exactly know how the last part of it went, but the beginning was satisfying. And now the after card talk, I'm still here thinking about lentils from earlier. Maybe that's like a full circle moment for you guys watching the video, but yeah, things went pretty smoothly today. Okay, all things considered at the beginning. I'm happy with how my hamstrings are growing. My hamstrings are on like a good track, and then my quads are much more visible with the cut. I'll say that the strength ceiling is a question for me because I don't know how to appreciate it, how to like go forward with it. But visibly, abs, arms, legs, like more fat and more skin cells are kind of burning. I don't know if skin cells are burning. That's probably not a correct thing to say, so I'll just scratch that. But more stuff is kind of like coming down in general to where I can see stuff. I can see more of like my quad muscles. I can feel more of my hamstrings. My biceps look a little bit bigger, even though I need to revitalize my workout plan soon after the cut to incorporate ways to hit the brachialis, I think it is, the kind of like the forgotten part that can pop out your bicep a little more. I've learned and discovered a lot of different muscle parts, and so I do want to revitalize some of my plan, which I'll probably drop on the Discord. I don't know when this video drops. The Discord announcement might be out, or it might not, but I am making a Discord, and I'll have workout plans as like part of that, for some people who join. So yeah, that's kind of the overall of today. Sun's out, class is getting ready to start. I need to go take a shower, so I'm calling it. Thank you guys so much for watching, for sticking around. I had a good time this leg day. Yeah, even though there was like ups and downs, overall, really great lift this morning. I'm woken up, I'm feeling good, I'm ready for the day ahead. So I'll see you guys in the next one. Bye-bye.